We're back out in the garage. Tonight we're going to be making some tube baits. So I'm using the itMolds 4-inch CNC super smooth mold, and I'm going to use the spike spline and a 1.75-inch tube insert to make the tubes that have been working really well for us. This is my version of a green pumpkin that I came up with that has worked pretty well. So we're just getting the plastic ready. So another 30 seconds and we'll be ready to pour. It doesn't take a lot of plastic here to make one tube at a time. So a quick push to get it all the way down to the end of those splines. Put the rest back in our cup. And this dries pretty fast because there's not a lot of plastic around this tube. Okay, it should be about ready to demold. Now I come up with a perfect tube bait. It's still hot. You cut off the sprue, and you just peel these back. And then just pull them off so that the tube will slide right off of that insert. have a perfect 4-inch smooth green pumpkin tube. Reheat our plastic and pour the next tube. So I found that about 350 degrees works really well with getting these in those fine spline areas for this tube. 330, I don't seem to get all the way to the end of the tube, but at 350 it has no problem getting or filling it all the way in for me. So I'm getting it up to about 350 degrees. So a quick push, just hold the pressure down, just fill in that sprue a little bit. It's only one tube, so I don't have to fill it up all the way like I do if I'm pouring some big worms. Let it cool down for a couple minutes and we're ready to demold that one and make another. Okay, should be ready to demold. So there we go, there's the tube. So then if you just pull these down to the front of the tube, and that way when they're all done, the tube just slides right off that piece right there. Another tube, another good tube. Still got a couple chunks in there, so I got to reheat it about another 30 seconds or so. Make sure it doesn't get picked up in the injector. Okay, it looks good. Alright, we'll do one more and we'll call it a night. So even with just one cavity, you're able to produce good quality, catch a lot of fish on some tubes still, and actually do it pretty fast even with one cavity. So if you're looking for a pretty good mold, I would say, for making your own tubes, take a look at the itMolds. This is the 4-inch tube. They have a 3.5-inch smooth. I went with the 4 because I could always cut the ends off, the tentacles, ½ an inch or so if I wanted to make it a 3.5-inch tube. But I went with this is the 4-inch mold. I have the standard spline up here, and then I have the spike that I'm making now. I've already made up the standard splines, and then the tube inserts comes in different sizes. So this is the 1.75. I have the 1.5 if I want to make a little bit thicker head on it, and I also have the 1.25 if I really want some meat on the head of that tube. But what's been working for me is the 1.75 head, or the 1.75 insert on the 4-inch tube. So just making sure there's no chunks in there from the old sprue, and making sure that we don't get one caught up because it will not inject properly. And there we go. So now I've got enough to make a good bag to go out for the morning and go catch some fish. just like that, a 4-inch tube. That is a fish catching machine. So here's the parts that you're going to need if you're going to do tubes. So this is the 4-inch super smooth CNC mold from itMolds. You see, it's just one cavity. I know they make some more expensive one that does 5 shots at a time. I don't go through that many tubes, so you're going to need that piece there, and then the spline. I say they got 3 different kind of splines. This is the, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but this is the sharp one. This is not the standard. This is the standard spline, the one that's got the rounded edges. So I got the standard and I got the spike. Very similar looking, but it does look a little bit different whenever you make them. There's less tentacles on the spiked versus the standard, so if that makes a difference, we'll see. And then this is the insert that goes in the head of there, and that determines how much you're going to have at the end of the mold whenever you're done. So this is, very, very thin, so I can rig it either stupid way, a stupid tube, or I can rig it with an EWG hook, and it gives me plenty of plastic so that I don't go through a whole bunch of them. And that's it. That's an easy, simple way to make some tubes to go catch some smallmouth and largemouth. I've caught I even caught catfish on it, believe it or not. But I mean, smallmouth would really like it. Largemouth bass would definitely hit them. So hope this helps anybody out there looking to do it yourself, save some money. That's my setup.